ukhona bawo wethu osezulwini uhlala sihlale nisakho ungundinguye endinguye umoya ingwele yawe Sizizukulwana ekuqaleni uselela uphephele nyadiso udume ngenceba twalala phakathi enkosi yenenceba Wazika malam negusasalam Yahweh Umuthimo omye isiqalo nesiphelo ubona amathontshi nomhlaba umuqamata phezu konke Thank you. I'll see you later.
Nkurunziza in Burundi wants to be president until he sees his grave. We don't want leaders who leave the position of president through a coffin. Leaders must come and go because there are no permanent leaders. Africa is spoiled of leaders. Nkurunziza in Burundi must step down. He must allow the Burundi people the right to choose their own leaders without any problem. The same thing happens in Cameroon. Biya must respect political parties, particularly the opposition, and stop killing the innocent. We want the people of Cameroon to exercise their democratic right without fear, without favor, and they must choose a government of their own. The same thing in DRC. When Joseph Kabila came, we thought he was ushering in some hope. We don't understand why Kabila wants to be a permanent leader. He must retire. He's still very young. He can find himself a new hobby and leave the office of the president to much younger people who are elected in a democratic way. We don't want this thing they are doing in DRC where you raise your head and oppose Kabila, you disappear. Those type of things must finish Because if we don't have progressive governments in Africa, our people are going to lose hope and faith in democracy. Djibouti, the same thing. Egypt, the same thing. Our people, even after fighting successfully in Egypt, they are back to square one. We want democratic principles to be practiced everywhere else in Ethiopia, every corner of Africa. We're saying here today, Morocco, you must leave Western Sahara alone. Leave the occupied territory of Western Sahara and allow Polisario to lead the Sahrawi people. Because the Western Sahara people have got their own leaders, and those leaders must be respected. We don't recognize the apartheid Morocco. We say to Paul Kagame, you have done very well in growing the economy of Rwanda and gave our people opportunities. But please respect the political rights of your rivals. Kagame allowed the opposition to exist in Rwanda. Stop this nonsense of kidnapping people who disagree with you and killing the people who disagree with you. We are saying to Southern Sudan and Sudan itself, please find peace with yourself. You cannot be in a permanent conflict with yourself. Respect the human rights, because the violation of human rights is a crime against humanity. And we have no respect for Bashir, who has committed crimes against humanity. We want people who respect our people. Here at home, Eswatini, King Muswati, please leave politics to politicians and continue marrying as you want to marry many women. It's fine. It's your own problem. But release the political prisoners in Swaziland. We want total freedom in Swaziland. We don't want the king to interfere with the freedoms of the people of Swaziland. So we are saying to the king, please allow the people of Eswatini. What a beautiful name. This monarch of Swaziland, this dictator of Swaziland, he thinks better than the ANC people. He has changed the colonial name Swaziland to Eswatini. South Africa, we still don't have a name till today. Because South Africa is not a name, it's a direction. South of Africa, it's not a name. We need a name for this beautiful country. And that name will be given to this country by the EFF when we take over power in 2019. This country shall be declared Azania because it is Azania. So we don't want to be called South Africa to please the colonizers. We are not South Africa. We are Azania. That's who we are. And if the ANC is scared of white people and they don't want to give this country a beautiful African name, we will do so. We will do the same with all the cities in South Africa. There will not be a town and a city with a colonial name. There will not be DF Malan Street. There will not be Fairfoot Street. There won't be a name of any murderer named after our streets. The ANC, the way they are so useless, they even fail to just change a name and put in African names. We want Gaddafi's names on our streets. We want Nkuruma's names on our streets. We want Sankara's names on our streets. We want Steve Biko Airport in East London. We want Winnie Mandela Airport in Cape Town. We want airports named after progressive forces. Not everything Nelson Mandela, Nelson Mandela, Nelson Mandela. Even collapsing toilets in Eastern Cape, they are called Nelson Mandela toilets. We can't have everything Nelson Mandela. As if we are running short of names, beautiful names as a continent. It must come to an end. Because Africa Day means that we must assume the African identity. And in assuming African identity, we must start naming things by their rightful names. Start with your children. You cannot call your children with white people's names. You call your child Prince. Prince. Prince ke Seloma.